Well, I'm here, Bill Molyneux of Bill's History and Wargame World, and I'm with Ken at Jerusalem Mills. And Ken, take it away.
Good day. Welcome to the very friendly village of Jerusalem Mill. I am portraying David Lee of 1772, who came to work here from Bucks County, Pennsylvania with his good family, settled along the Gunpowder River, a great flowing river, a wonderful resource for turning the wheels of a mill. The area filled with farmers' fields of wheat needed a place to have that ground into flour, and I supplied that human service very kindly and very gratefully. We began very small originally, but where you have a mill, you needed to have a blacksmith, and indeed in our village we have a working blacksmith to this day. Where you have a mill and a blacksmith, you needed to have at least a cooper for the barrels of wheat. We had a cooper on the grounds. If you had a cooper, you needed wood. If you had the mill, you needed wood. You needed a sawmill. Once was a sawmill right next to the mill. The mill was built according to the designs of Oliver Evans of England, who came forth to the Ellicott brothers of Bucks County, my cousins, who came west as well to form their mill along the Great Patapsco River, hence the story of Ellicott City. But we are here in Jerusalem Mill welcoming our guests to a place where the Quakers were very much at peace and very much willing to serve.
Wow. And in this room, can I go ahead and scan and tell me,
please,
is there, what is really, I see a musket over there, and oh my God, it's Goober the Traveling Bear has
Hi.
followed me to Jerusalem Mills, and I see a musket. I have a couple people that love my videos when I hit military weapons.
Hi.
Would you mind giving us a little history on what we have in this display case?
Well, the story here is, of course, this was a brown bess, which would have been popular at the time of the mills being built. We were pre-revolution, and of course through the revolution and beyond. There was a story that once with the great black walnuts growing in the area that a craftsman was able to craft gun stocks for guns, perhaps that might have been shipped and made part of the gunnery for the American revolutionary effort. Albeit us being Quakers, more peace-loving, not so much inclined towards warfare, this was of course something that was probably still happening in our area. What you see are many relics from over the years, from the 1700s to 1960, when this mill was still in existence. So that meant we were here, yes indeed, during the Civil War. And there was some action here as well. We had a rebel raid come right through here and raid the store before the Confederate soldiers headed north to Joppa to take care of business, derailing the rail, burning down the railroad bridges, and in their process captured General Franklin of the Union Army, who later escaped, I must say. I must also say that the land that you travel in this area is filled with other outbuildings as well. We have a working craftsman who was a woodworker, a joiner, and he does demonstrate here on weekends as well. We have the original David Lee's colonial home right behind a stone house where indeed I and my family lived, and they do demonstrate colonial cooking over the open fire on the weekends as well. The working blacksmith is here Saturdays and Sundays. The general store that was later built along the road in early 1800s is up the road, and it's an open and working museum and store. The grounds are part of the state parks of Maryland, so we have cross trails coming all the way through. We have one of the only existing covered bridges in Baltimore County crossing the Gunpowder River just adjacent to us. I myself, as the merchant miller, became wealthy enough to have a mansion built. It's on our grounds. It's now restored into its colonial finery, and it's going to be added to our museum very soon for tours.
Very cool.
Thank you.
All right.
What you have here is where the milling occurred. The great mighty millstones, as they turned, were turned by the water wheels that are below the mill. were one of the few mills where the water wheels were internal and the gunpowder flowed in underneath us through a channel.
Now, did that allow you to keep the mill running during the winter?
Yes, absolutely. Not only that, it kept the wheels in a much greater shape over a greater amount of time.
Well, we did a video in Edinburgh Mill in Virginia, and they had a ghost story where a young man was caught in the mill grindstones. Do we have any ghost stories here?
Well, the only ghost stories that exist have been disproven over and over, yet people still insist on believing that the cover bridge was possibly a site where there were some hangings, possibly of what would have been a runaway slave. The mill was not built until after the war was over and emancipation had long occurred. So that's the story that seems to draw people, spooky as it is. It's been disproven.
Disproven. All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to tie this video in with some more during the day. And thank you for your time, and you're very informative. It's great meeting you.
Outstanding.
And thank you for being nice to Goober the Traveling Bear.
Good day, Goober. Good day, sir.
All right. Well, this is what the mill looks like in this diorama form. And we have permission to go below and see what the inner workings look like. I'll pause the camera here. All right, well, we're down below the mill, and they have how the mill wheel would look. And what's interesting is this mill would be able to run through the winter and keep the mill running. So besides grinding up the grain, it could also power tools, machinery for the gunsmith. And it is pretty nifty down here. They got everything shorn up, and it looks like they've got the drying out from the water damage over the years. And it's quite impressive of the work they've done to restore this. Well, that's about it for the mill area basement, and we'll add this to some other videos. All right, well, we're here at another display case. Take it away.
Well, Baltimore Hebrew congregations of the 1800s soon found out that the flour that was being milled here was very fine and very pure. They had invented a special process of taking the flour, which filled with its debris and bits of things and chaff, and shaking it through vats and filters and hoppers of white silk. So hence, it was named white silk flour, and this is the original signia, the original logo for that brand. The Baltimore Hebrew congregations found that it was so pure that it was indeed deemed kosher, and became a very active trade with Jerusalem Mill, albeit a Quaker mill, processing very pure flour for another family of faith in Baltimore as well.
Well, that's a great story. My wife would be very happy to hear this story and see this case, and I'm hoping to bring her along for my next visit. And thank you again.
Thank you.